Hello there. Once again, this is Anton from Anton Bay. Thank you for stopping by the collection room. Today we're taking a look at some comic books. It's going to be Gen 13 today. I was able to pick up a few random issues of Gen 13. Always been a fan of the series. Back in the day, I've never had close to what I would call a complete run of anything. But they were also known for having some really great variant covers, which is why I bought this one. This would be Gen 13 number 1, the Pulp Fiction cover. It's just super cute. I happen to love anytime you get like an homage or whatever you call it, parody of the Pulp Fiction covers. I have, most notably, I have one that's a She-Hulk cover from Incredible Hulk. That's She-Hulk on the cover doing a Pulp Fiction pose. There was one with April O'Neil that I've seen float around a lot. I don't know if it was an official cover, but it was one I always thought was really cool. So this was one that I was just like, oh my gosh, I better throw a bid on that. Threw a bid on it, got it. This is 1995 G13. Well, it says 1995 Wildstorm, March 1st, 1994. It might have been a cover they came out with later. But Gen 13, of course, known for having cool covers and cool parody. And actually, one of my favorite comic book covers of all time, which I think is it Gen 13 issue 15? It's one of my favorite covers, the white one with Roxy. Anyway, this is just one of those great covers. She is, of course, rather old to be playing Roxy, but still, it was a cool cover, one I had to get. So here we got. Now she's slicing up Raiden. Let's see. What do we see on here? It's a Jim Lee, Brandon Choi, and J. Scott Campbell produced by. I'm not sure if Jim Lee is the artist. I cannot remember who did the art on Gen 13. It kind of looks like Jim Lee stuff, but I'm looking. Some of that looks a little wonky to be Jim Lee, but inks, story, pencils, Brandon Choi and J. Scott Campbell. Yeah. I didn't think it looked quite like Jim Lee stuff on the art. Alex Garner on inks, Richard Starkings on lettering, Wendy Fouts color. Is it 90s? Extremely. Is it cliche 90s? Yeah, totally. Is it I don't know, is it very dated in its appearance? That ultra sleek, exaggerated image style, all of those things. Yes. Is it all of that? Yes, it is. I still love it though. Like, there's just something special about that time period, and it shows up in the art. And I think Gen 13 was one of those books that captured that era quite well. I mean, it's a little bit cringy when you look back on it. I think of like, Empire Records and movies that like didn't age well, but they were like so in the heart of the 90s at that point. And Gen 13 is definitely one of the books that falls into that category as well. But I love it. I loved that era, so of course I love this. And even though it's outdated and cliched looking now, I still love that era. I mean, it's just great. Are her legs too long? Yes. Is he way too squatty? Yes. Is it too over the top? Yeah, all of it. It's all those things, but it's a comic book. That's what it's supposed to be. Yeah, grunge. When your hero's name is grunge, that's like the epitome of in the heart of the 90s. For those young'uns that don't know, grunge was a style of music from the 90s. And so, yeah, to have your entire character based on that stereotype with Doc Martens and a flannel shirt tied around your waist, yes. All of that ridiculous nostalgia for the 90s packed into a comic book, totally. And, you know, as cliched as it is, you can't hate it. I mean, I love it. I love that era, and I love how goofy some of this stuff was. So, was Gen 13 a deep philosophical book. Absolutely not. It had so many, was it funny? Was it relevant pop culture wise at the time? Absolutely. So this is issue 5. I don't even know what issues I have anymore, or what any of this I have. At one point I had probably 20 or 30 issues of this particular book. And if you look back in my videos, I've actually got it. It used to be all the covers, but eBay or YouTube had a problem with it. So yeah, I had multiple madness or something was the name of the video, but I highlighted how many different issues of this I had because of one of the collections I bought. The inventory from a store was just chock full of these. I mean, chock full of them. And I thought it was great, but I couldn't believe that the store hadn't sold them back in the day when it was still operational. So as far as all the plot, oh my gosh, is that Bruce Campbell? That looks so much like Bruce Campbell. Another bastion of the 90s. Another highlight from that entire decade was Bruce Campbell. Let's make him popular. Ah yes, grunge. So stupid. Diaper. Ew. Sap in a diaper. I don't know. How do you even classify this these days? I don't know. Not stuff that people are into, I guess. It was a little bit inappropriate back then. Like, this was kind of edgy. And with comics now, it's like nobody would make stuff like this. It's just so dumb and immature. I guess the comic book world just didn't want that. I still think it's good. Maybe that means I'm dumb and immature, but I certainly love this era. So now, did it stay this good? No. I would say the first 20 issues of Gen 13 were by far better. And then I don't know, they started doing anime covers, and I just wasn't into that near as much. She looks familiar. Looks like Velma. Yeah, you could throw in parody stuff all the time in these, and that was totally great and totally normal. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. This one was not very good. I'll admit, that one was not great. Issue 49. All right, we're past... No, have we got into anime covers? Maybe we haven't got to the anime covers yet. Let's see. What year is this, though? We're in the year 2000. Oh, we're close to the tipping point where comics started to turn all to crap. Maybe that's why they stopped making Gen 13s, because things just got too glossy for them. The art in this is looking good. It looks like we're trying to move slightly away from the early 90s grunge look and a little bit leaning towards the 2000s there. I mean, he's still called grunge, which, you know, once you name your character, they're based entirely upon a temporary cultural music fad. It's kind of hard to rename him or have him live on. That's an interesting panel. Just take a moment to appreciate how weird that panel is. Yeah, I'd say the art inside is still good. Maybe it's just the covers that I really started to hate, but anyway. Beautiful imagery in the book. I mean, Roxy's still wearing the 90s bicycle outfit, so maybe we didn't totally lose track of who we are. Let's see. And you know what? I can't even remember how long this series ran. Resident Evil Nemesis. If I remember right, that one wasn't any good. Anyway, issue 49. Issue 50. A Traitor Among Them. Wildstorm. Caitlin Fairchild. Does Lynch turn out to be a bad guy? I doubt it. I doubt it this far in. He is smoking with a no smoking sign though, so could be a problem. Over My Dead Body, 50th issue extravaganza. Rainmaker dead. I doubt it. I think a lot of people tried to draw parallels between Gen 13 and Generation X and the book. And I don't think it's... there's a little bit over there. I mean, you could draw some analogies, but they're also pretty different in some ways. I don't know, this book, you know what? The more I'm thinking of it, maybe they weren't that different. They do seem more similar now that I'm kind of running through it, but I don't know. Totally different tone, in my opinion. Gen X could get serious at times and was a little bit more depressing. Gen 13 seems to never really get that serious. And I think it kind of just holds its lighthearted theme most of the way through. I'm trying to think of a very serious issue of Gen 13 and don't know that there is one. Where Gen X would be fun and irreverent, but also would have like really underlying like tones of, well, they're being this way and being jovial and joking around because things are really dark. It is really depressing. And this book tends to lean a little further away from some of those things and stay in some of the more positive aspects. Goofiness. I'm seeing they're dealing with Hellspawn, and Hellspawn is, he's not a Gen 13, he is a Wildcats villain. Now, Gen 13 got a few action figures made, which I thought was weird. They got the 12-inch action figures, big ones, of 3 members of the team. Rainmaker, Caitlin, Fairchild, and the fire guy. But that was it. None of the other team members, no Roxy, anything like that. And as far as 6-inch scale, they made one Caitlin Fairchild figure, which looks bad. That was like a special one-off that comic book stores got. But as far as like a major release of an action figure line, nothing. Which it seems like a total shame, especially during this time period where everything was getting figures made. Everybody was getting action figures. Ultra Force was getting action figures made. And no Gen 13? Are you kidding me? How did that happen? No figures from the whole thing. Just one 6-inch one that did not look very good of one character. It just seemed like a total waste. All of us wanted a Roxy figure and a Grunge figure, and we were never going to get one. Certainly never now, because as far as I know, these characters are far and away in limbo. Completely irrelevant and inappropriate for the time period that we all live in now. And doesn't that just tell you how much not fun that is? I always love this ad. Love Comics. Has a very vintage feel to it. She's wearing saddle shoes. I always just thought it was cool. I remember this ad. I love this ad. Love Comics? ? Sitecomic.com. Anyway, so that is a little blast from 90s past. Gen 13, a book that's probably not for everybody, but if it is for you, you know it when you see it. So give it a check it out. And that's pretty much my story. You guys have a good day. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.